Archangel Michael says, you think you've been forgotten, but your name is still on heaven's active list. Don't leave this message unread. My beloved child, before this minute ends, a sealed door will open inside your heart and you will know you were never overlooked. Listen closely. You clicked because the title tugged at a quiet ache. Archangel Michael says, you think you've been forgotten, but your name is still on heaven's active list. Don't leave this message unread. That ache is not a weakness, it is a radar. It has been pinging for proof that heaven still tracks you, and here is the shock. You are not a lost file. You are a live mission. Picture this, a glowing ledger in the courts of heaven. A living document where names are not written in chalk but in light. This is not myth for someone else. This is your page. Your name has an active status, flagged, reviewed, protected. When you thought silence meant absence, it actually meant surveillance, holy, careful, precise. Archangel Michael, heaven's commander, the not check on the faint hurried out of pity, he checks on warriors before dawn. Maybe the last months have been heavy, calls that never came, doors that closed gently but firmly, plans that felt certain and then cracked. You told yourself, maybe heaven forgot to forward my case. No, heaven forwarded you to the front of the line and then hid you, the way a jeweler hides a rare stone before the unveiling. You were not ignored. You were preserved. Hear the whisper that will not leave you alone. I kept you off some lists to keep you on mine. Archangel Michael is not a poet, he is a protector. He does not speak to oppress. He speaks to instruct, and his message arrives with 3 threads that will weave into one banner by the end of this series: identity, timing, and alignment. Today, in part 1, we begin with identity, the part of you that cannot be cancelled, muted, or mislabeled by any earthly algorithm. Let me paint the moment you missed. On a night when you were done speaking because words did not help, you sighed. Just a breath. Heaven counted it as a prayer, on a morning when you were too tired to cry. You stared at the ceiling and said nothing. Heaven registered it as a report. On a day when you laughed in public but trembled in the quiet, heaven stamped your case with urgent care, the ledger updated. Tattoos, active. Vertectin, Gordon. There is a reason Archangel Michael is the one stepping forward. When confusion gets loud, you do not need soft comfort alone, you need a sword that cuts lies from truth in one motion. His voice is firm, but never cold. It says, stand up, you are still expected. This is the surprise. You think the delay disqualified you, heaven says the delay qualified you. You built endurance in rooms that gave you nothing. You learned to listen when applause stopped. You discovered you can walk without a spotlight. That is elite training. Now, watch how the pieces you hated become your credentials. You earned mercy because you needed it. You learned boundaries because someone crossed them. You learned patience because time would not hurry for you. Heaven did not waste a single minute of your last season. The ledger did not only hold your name. It held your lessons, your tears, your small acts of courage. It gently increased your clearance for what comes next. Don't leave this message unread. Why is that line so urgent? Because unread messages expire in the heart, not because heaven withdraws them, but because doubt erases their ink. Doubt will try to edit this moment as soon as it ends. It will say nice words, but not for me. Stop. Reclaim your identity in one sentence. I am still on heaven's active list. Say it out loud if you can. Whisper it if you cannot. But mark this minute, heaven is marking it with you. You may ask, if my name is active, why do I feel so stuck? Great question. And here's the twist, being active in heaven does not always look busy on earth. Sometimes it looks hidden. Seeds are not inactive just because you cannot see them move, they are exploding in silence. Your life has been in germination, breaking open in the dark, forming roots that brag to no one but hold everything. Archangel Michael's assignment is to guard the field while your roots finish their work. So that when you rise, you are not a fragile sprout, but a planted pillar. There are signs that this message is yours, and I will reveal them across the parts. But let one land right now, lately. You have been seeing out of season kindness, small favors you did not request, timing that felt oddly perfect, a conversation that answered a question you never asked out loud. These are not random. They are pings from the ledger, confirmations that heaven's system is live, that your case is not cold. Another sign is holy agitation. You are restless in places that once felt comfortable. You are allergic to old patterns. The show you used to binge does not satisfy, the chat that used to drain hours now drains joy. That is not boredom. It is uprating. When heaven is about to release you to a new assignment, the old chair grows sharp. You move because you cannot sit still, not because someone pushes you. And then there is the quiet test. You are being asked to do small right things with no spectators. Answer the test. Return the kindness, lean what no one sees. Pray for the one who annoyed you. Why? Because heaven measures fitness for public blessing and private faithfulness. Archangel Michael fights in open battles, but he trains in hidden rooms. He is checking locks, doors, gates, and motives. He is not judging you, he is preparing you to carry what will arrive without dropping it. Before we step into part 2, hold this picture, a gate with your name engraved, sealed till a date only heaven knew. The seal is softening, the wax is warm. The signal is green. This is not hype, it is a quiet yes. Your name is not dim. It is pulsing brighter, and the message that found you today was timed. Not early, not late. Stay with me as we unpack the practical steps to keep your file active on your worst day and why some no's were actually angelic barricades. The revelations will not flatter you. They will fortify you. Because when heaven says you are active, it means you will move on purpose, under protection, with clarity. Something big is close. You will feel it in the way the air in your room seems lighter tonight. In the way your next choice feels guided, not guessed. You are not forgotten. You are forecasted. My beloved child, there are moments when silence grows so thick it feels like heaven logged off, but listen. Silence in the realm above is never absence. It's the sound of divine calculation. While you wept, a plan was being drafted with your initials carved into its seal. Heaven never writes in pencil. Every decree about your destiny was inked in permanence. You cannot be erased from a page that was authored in eternity. Our Archangel Michael stands where divine justice meets human confusion. His message continues like a thread through fire, reminding you that every delay, every unanswered prayer, and every heartbreak was not punishment, it was positioning. When you think heaven forgot, heaven was filtering. It was removing what could not stand next to your next blessing. You see, sometimes protection looks like rejection, but only until the light changes. When Archangel Michael whispers, "You're still on heaven's active list," it means no force, no timing error, no human interference can delete what heaven has already scheduled. You've been asking, why is everything taking so long? But time on earth is the slow-motion version of eternity. While you count hours, heaven measures readiness. You're not waiting for your miracle is waiting for your alignment. Archangel Michael's hand has been hovering over your next chapter. But heaven cannot release what you're not ready to sustain. That is not a denial, it's divine responsibility. You are being strengthened to receive what doesn't crumble under pressure. Think of a seed buried in soil, its dart is quiet, and it looks forgotten. But what if the soil's silence is the sound of transformation? No one sees roots form, yet roots are the reason a tree stands through storms. It's what heaven has been doing with you, rooting you deeper while no one was watching. Archangel Michael has been guarding the soil of your life, ensuring no counterfeit growth chokes your authenticity. Every unseen day has been sacred. Every unnoticed act of kindness, every whispered prayer before sleep. They all built your unseen resume. There are records in heaven that hold your persistence like trophies. Do you remember the night you almost gave up but didn't? Isran. Do you remember when you forgave someone who never apologized? Islog. Do you remember when you smiled even though your heart was in shards? That smile was not wasted. It was recorded as an act of faith. You think no one noticed, but Archangel Michael did, and heaven rewards hidden endurance more than public performance. Let this truth wash over you. You were never invisible to the divine. Your name doesn't just exist on heaven's list. It glows. Angels see it, darkness fears it. And because of that glow, you have faced unusual resistance. The greater your assignment, the tighter the security. That's why your life sometimes felt like a battlefield. You were not being punished. You were being protected by restriction. Some friendships ended not because of failure, but because your frequency shifted. Some opportunities vanished not because you lacked value, but because they lacked integrity. Heaven blocks what could dilute your calling. Archangel Michael's current assignment over your life is not to bring comfort alone, but to initiate awakening. He's cutting through confusion that disguised itself as comfort. Every season of stagnation ends when awareness begins. That's why you're hearing this now. Something inside you knows this is not random timing. It's divine timing. The very moment your spirit began to grow restless was the sign that heaven had reactivated your file. The universe is responding to a decision you haven't made yet, but you will, soon. And when you do, the shift will not be gradual. It will be instant. The walls that felt unbreakable will fall, not by force, but by divine authority. That's the nature of Archangel Michael's move. He doesn't negotiate with darkness, he dismantles it. The moment your heart says yes, his sword clears the path. But for that to happen, you must stop speaking like someone who's forgotten. Stop calling yourself behind. Stop assuming you're too late. Every time you say it's over, heaven pauses. Every time you say, maybe I'm not enough, angels grieve. Speak from your status, not your scars. Say, I'm still on heaven's active list, until your spirit believes it. Right now, the atmosphere around you is shifting. The things that once felt heavy will soon feel light. Even the people around you will sense a glow they can't explain. It's not ego. It's evidence. Heaven always gives signs before fulfillment. And some of those signs will look ordinary. A sudden peace for no reason, a message that aligns perfectly with your private thoughts. A small door opening where a large one closed. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations. And here's the truth few understand. Miracles rarely announce themselves with thunder, they arrive softly, disguised as ordinary moments. You may wake up one morning and feel different, lighter, freer. That's not imagination, that's heaven turning a page. You might receive an unexpected call that changes your entire direction. That's not luck, that's the active list moving. When heaven updates your file, everything connected to you starts to move too. Now, my beloved child, if you've been watching this far, I need you to pause and reflect. This message found you for a reason. It's not meant to inspire you for a few minutes. It's meant to recalibrate your entire identity. You are not a leftover soul in the corner of eternity. You are a chosen assignment on heaven's radar. Every day you wake up is proof that your purpose is still pending completion, and as you take this in, remember, Archangel Michael does not appear in stories of the ordinary. He arrives where destiny is about to shift. That means something in your life is about to realign with divine timing. Stay alert. Stay humble. Stay expectant. You are being recalled to your original script. The one written before fear edited your lines. If this message has touched something deep inside you, share it. Someone else needs to hear it. Comment if you've ever felt forgotten, but are now realizing heaven never stopped tracking your name. Subscribe, because the next revelations will go deeper into the signs of your reactivation and how Archangel Michael's presence manifests in daily life. When light enters your awareness, the enemy loses territory. Something life-altering is coming, and it's closer than you think. Heaven has already begun the countdown. All you need to do is stay awake, stay believing, and stay on that active list. My beloved child, there is a rhythm in the unseen, a heartbeat that moves in time with yours even when you feel alone. That pulse is heaven's confirmation that your season of silence was never a void but a rehearsal. Every unanswered moment has been tuning your frequency to match divine timing. The reason everything felt heavy was because you were carrying prophecies not yet unpacked. And now, that weight is about to transform into wings. You've wondered why your path seems different, why the people who started with you have moved ahead while you seem to walk in circles. Archangel Michael says it's because you're not walking in circles. You're orbiting purpose, waiting for a line. The orbit felt repetitive only because heaven needed to synchronize your next step with the right moment. If you had moved earlier, you would have reached a door still locked. But now, something has shifted, the lock is melting. The timing is ripe. Close your eyes for a second, imagine the ledger again, that celestial record glowing with living light. Your name doesn't sit there idly. It pulses like a star, every pulse is a reminder to the heavens. A silent ongoing. Archangel Michael checks it daily, ensuring that every angel assigned to your path is in position. Some are guarding your mind, some your opportunities, and some are standing by doors you haven't even seen yet. This orchestration is not random. It's sacred choreography. The world might have told you that you've missed your chance, but heaven never runs out of opportunities. It simply reroutes them. There is no such thing as being too late in divine time, there are only rehearsals disguised as delays. You were not behind. You were being refined, you were not forgotten. You were being fortified. Every step you took in confusion built a foundation that stability will soon rest upon. You might remember moments when everything collapsed at once, when plans you trusted suddenly failed. Those were not coincidences, they were controlled demolitions. Heaven tore down structures that could not bear the weight of your true purpose. The collapse hurt, yes, but only so you wouldn't live in fragile walls built by temporary emotions. You were being moved from convenience to calling. And Archangel Michael was there, not just as a guardian, but as an architect, redesigning the blueprints of your destiny in real time. The next movement in your life will surprise even you. It would make logical sense, because divine logic doesn't consult human calendars. You may wake up one day and realize the people who left were never exits. They were divine edits. You may walk through a door that feels too big for you, and heaven will whisper, that's because it was built for your future self. You may hear a yes where every sign said no, because Archangel Michael's authority outranks resistance. Heaven's favor is not random rain. It falls with precision. You are being watered exactly where you will bloom, and when you bloom, it won't be small. The places that once doubted you will become witnesses. The same voices that said you were forgotten will speak of your return, but remember this. Your return is not revenge. It's revelation. Heaven does not restore you to prove a point. It restores you to fulfill a purpose. If you've ever felt tired of trying, this is the moment to breathe. Heaven is about to handle what your strength can't. Archangel Michael's presence means warfare has shifted from your hands to his. You fought to survive, now you will live to lead. Every scar on your spirit is being rewritten as authority. You will speak differently, you will decide differently. Even your silence will carry weight. The spiritual realm already recognizes the change. You are no longer marked by waiting. You are marked by readiness. And yet, readiness is not rushing. Sometimes the most powerful move is the quiet one. You not confuse stillness with stagnation. Stillness is the waiting posture of warriors. When Archangel Michael pauses, it is never because he's unsure. It's because he's aligning reinforcements. So if your life feels motionless right now, remember, even heaven takes a deep breath before major release. That's what this silence is. It's heaven inhaling before it exhales blessing. Pay attention to what repeats in your days, a verse, a song, a phrase, a number. Heaven speaks in patterns. These repetitions are not accidents, they are confirmations. You are being reminded on purpose that you are seen. Each sign is like a heartbeat in the unseen realm whispering, still active, still chosen. the light around you has been flickering because your atmosphere is recalibrating to handle favor. What once drained you will soon drive you. What once scared you will soon strengthen you. There's something Archangel Michael wants you to know about recognition. The world celebrates what's visible, but heaven celebrates what's faithful. You don't need a stage to be seen. The most powerful applause comes from the unseen audience. The angels who've watched you rise after every fall. Your endurance has been heaven's entertainment. Every still I rise moment has sent ripples through the spiritual dimension. You've made more impact than you know just by surviving with grace. Now, as you hear these words, you're standing at a divine intersection. One path leads back to what's familiar but finished. The other leads to the unknown but ordained. Heaven will never push, but it will invite. Archangel Michael's message is that it's time to step forward, not by sight, but by faith. Your next chapter isn't waiting for confirmation from people. It's waiting for cooperation from you. The moment you agree with heaven's plan, the gates that have been sealed for years will swing open effortlessly. And when that happens, remember humility. Don't rush to prove anything, let your peace prove everything. Your calm will confuse those who doubted you. Your glow will preach louder than your words. You won't need to announce that you've been remembered. Your life will show it. Heaven is about to make you living evidence that being forgotten by the world means being hidden by God. Before you go further, take a moment and breathe this truth. You are not waiting for favor. Favor hath been waiting for you to believe again. The moment your belief reawakens, the system of heaven reactivates around you. It's already happening now. The shift you feel is real, something magnificent is near. It's already on its way with your name written in divine ink. You'll see it, you'll feel it. And when it comes, you'll know this message wasn't coincidence. It was confirmation, my beloved child. When heaven prepares to reveal someone, the first thing it does is silence the noise around them. That silence you mistook for punishment was really the sound of divine rearrangement. Everything that seemed still in your life was being recalibrated. You were not abandoned. You were being refined under supervision. Archangel Michael stood watch during every silent hour, marking the moments when your faith wavered but did not fall. Every tear was weighed. Every prayer was archived. Every act of goodness, no matter how small, was entered into heaven's system as proof of faithfulness. You've been walking through a field of invisible battles, ones that even those closest to you never saw. But every quiet victory, every time you chose peace over revenge, every time you forgave when you could have retaliated, those moments echoed through eternity. Archangel Michael has been collecting them because faith in silence is the highest sound in heaven. The loudest worship is not a song. It's obedience when the song stops. You did not know it, but your restraint became your roar, and now, that roar has been heard. The divine signal has been sent. It's activation time. Heaven never forgets its own. And the moment your name was whispered on earth in despair, it was shouted in heaven with authority. Still active, the angel said, still chosen. Archangel Michael's sword has already begun cutting through the fog that surrounded your destiny. The obstacles that once felt immovable are trembling because your timeline is awakening, yet, there is a gentle warning from heaven. As the doors begin to open, make sure your heart remains pure. The temptation of this season will not be failure, it will be pride. Don't let recognition replace reverence. Don't allow applause to drown the whisper of guidance. Remember, you are not being blessed to be seen. You are being elevated to serve. Every promotion in heaven is an invitation to humility. That is how you keep your position active. By remembering who placed you there. You've wondered why Archangel Michael's name keeps resurfacing. It's because his presence symbolizes both warfare and justice. He doesn't just defend you. He delivers verdicts in your favor. Some of the things that were stolen from you, time, peace, opportunities, are being reclaimed under his command. Heaven's court has reviewed your case, and the ruling has shifted. You are entering a phase of recovery where what was delayed will return multiplied, not because you demanded it, but because you endured without bitterness. There's a message unfolding right now inside your spirit. You can feel it, a mixture of peace and expectancy. That's not emotion. That's recognition. Your soul remembers the sound of destiny when it starts moving again. The dreams that went silent are waking up. The ideas you buried are stirring, the energy you thought was gone is regenerating. That's how heaven works. It revives what looked expired and then amplifies it. You're not restarting from zero. You're continuing from wisdom. But to stay aligned with this divine momentum, you must guard your atmosphere. Protect your peace as if it were treasure, because it is. Don't let anyone plant fear where heaven is growing faith. You can't afford to let doubt speak louder than prophecy. Every time you question if you're forgotten, remind yourself that your name is still on heaven's active list. Say it out loud as a declaration. I am remembered, I am protected. I am still active. Words shape the spiritual climate. Speak what heaven speaks and earth will follow. You may begin to notice shifts in unexpected areas. Relationships that suddenly feel lighter, conversations that open new paths. Moments where everything seems to align by coincidence. Those are not coincidences. They are confirmations. Every divine alignment comes with subtle signs. The right people will begin appearing, not by introduction but by instruction. Archangel Michael moves through alignment, not announcement. He places the right souls in your path at the right time. That's how destiny unfolds quietly, purposefully, powerfully. Now listen closely. When light re-enters your story, it attracts attention from both sides. Some will celebrate you. Others will misunderstand you. But your focus must remain upward, not outward. The same heaven that remembered you will defend you. You don't have to explain the favor that's coming. It will explain itself through results. Keep moving with grace even when curiosity surrounds you. The light that covers you is not for display. It's for direction. Archangel Michael's presence will start manifesting through courage. Not loud confidence but quiet certainty. You will find yourself making decisions you used to delay. You will speak truth without fear. You'll walk into a room you once felt unqualified for. That courage is not self-made, it's angelic assistance. You're being infused with boldness that comes from belonging. And this is what heaven wants you to know: you belong. Not because of perfection but because of purpose. You are being realigned with everything that carries your frequency. That's why some things are falling away so suddenly. Don't chase what's leaving. It's only making space for what's arriving. heaven never removes without replacing. What's coming will match your spirit, your calling, your growth. You will not have to beg for connection again. The people who are meant for your future will recognize your light on sight. And when that happens, don't hide it. Share it, speak life into others who feel forgotten like you once did. Tell them they are still seen. Tell them heaven still is their name. Your story is becoming a seed for someone else's awakening. Every healed wound in you is a map for someone still bleeding. Use it, speak it. Shine it. Right here, pause and take in what's happening. This message found you not by accident but by assignment. It's proof that heaven still tracks your heartbeats. You were never outside the system, you were always under review, waiting for this reactivation moment. And now it's here. So if you feel this stirring, don't just feel it, respond to it. Comment below what line hit your soul. Share this message with someone who needs to be reminded that heaven still writes names in light. Subscribe, because this awakening is just unfolding. And you don't want to miss what Archangel Michael will reveal next. Every word that reaches your ears is an angelic echo meant to awaken something ancient inside you. Remember, my beloved child, you are not forgotten. You are forecasted. The very air around you is shifting to make room for your return to purpose. Breathe deeply. Heaven is near, and your name is glowing again. My beloved child, there comes a moment when destiny stops knocking and begins breaking through the walls that kept you small. That moment is now. You can feel it, can't you? The restlessness that has been rising inside you isn't frustration. It's preparation. Heaven stirs your spirit before it shifts your surroundings. Archangel Michael has been walking beside you, not behind, marking each step a sacred ground. Every breath you've taken in faith has been recorded, and now those records are echoing through eternity, calling your next season into existence. When heaven says your name is still on the active list, it doesn't just mean you're remembered. It means you're required. The world needs the version of you that pain tried to bury. The strength you gained in secret, the compassion born from heartbreak, the wisdom carved from waiting, all of it was training for what's coming. You were hidden not because you were unworthy, but because the world wasn't ready for your arrival. Seeds are never seen until they break the ground. And your breakthrough is heaven's proof that it's your turn to rise. Every storm you've survived was never meant to drown you. It was meant to teach you how to breathe underwater. You didn't know it. But while you were fighting to stay afloat, Archangel Michael was holding the current steady, ensuring that the waves only went so high. You were protected from disasters you never even knew were aiming for you. There were spiritual ambushes cancelled before they reached your door because heaven had your name on its defense list. You weren't forgotten in the chaos, you were shielded within it. Think of how many times you've said, "I can't take any more." And yet somehow you did. That was not endurance. It was angelic reinforcement. Every moment you thought you'd reached your limit, Archangel Michael whispered to your soul, "Just one more step," and that one step kept writing your timeline. That's why you're still here. Not by luck, not by coincidence, but by divine preservation. You were meant to reach this exact point in time where your faith finally catches up to your calling. But now comes a deeper test. Can you believe that good things will stay? You've been trained by disappointment, so part of you expects loss even when love arrives. Heaven wants to heal that reflex. The blessings coming now are not fragile, they are fortified. They will not vanish when you exhale. They are assigned to remain because they were built in the same fire that built you. The relationships, opportunities, and ideas entering your life are not temporary. They are eternal appointments disguised as fresh starts. Archangel Michael says this next season is not about chasing signs but becoming one. You will be the evidence that heaven never forgets its own. Your peace will preach louder than any sermon. Your restoration will speak for those still lost in waiting. Every part of your story that once embarrassed you will become an altar for someone else's hope. That's how redemption works. It turns your pain into a prophecy. You've spent so long waiting for permission to move. But heaven is whispering that the waiting is over. This is not a season to tiptoe, it's a season to step boldly. The doors you're about to walk through will not open by force. They will open by recognition. The moment you arrive, the atmosphere will shift because your name has already been approved in the spiritual realm. What once required begging will now respond to your presence. The same ground that rejected you before will welcome you now because your frequency matches fulfillment. Still, remember this. Favor without focus can fade. Guard your purpose the way a lion guards its cubs. Distraction is the enemy's last weapon before destiny manifests. That's why, lately, you felt pulled in different directions because the closer you get to alignment, the more chaos tries to pull you back. But don't be moved by noise, focus on stillness. Your calm is your confirmation. When Archangel Michael stands still, even the winds listen. Do the same. The power of your next move lies in your consistency. Keep doing the small right things, those unseen acts of faith, those moments you choose peace over pride, kindness over applause. Heaven watches pattern, not performance. Miracles don't come to the loudest, they come to the most consistent. Every repetition of faith builds momentum in the unseen until one day it bursts through into the visible world. That's what's happening now. The quiet things you've done are forming thunder in heaven. You will soon begin to notice strange favor. Doors opening without explanation, people offering help you didn't request. These are not coincidences. They are coordinates. Heaven is mapping your next chapter with precision. The same voice that told you wait is now saying walk. Do not hesitate when the path lights up. Fear will try to disguise itself as wisdom. But heaven's timing never needs permission from fear. When you feel the peace rise, that's your green light, and as this awakening unfolds, share it. Speak it. Let others know they are not forgotten either. Someone out there is crying the same way you once did. Convinced heaven's list skipped their name. Your testimony will be their turning point. You are not just receiving a miracle. You are becoming one. Speak hope where you once spoke doubt. Tell the story not of how you survive it, but how you were refined. When light spreads, darkness retreats, and every word you share becomes a spark in someone else's night. If this message resonates in your chest like truth disguised as comfort, hold on to it. It found you by divine design. And if it stirred something in you, let it move through you. Share it with someone who needs a reminder that the wait was never wasted. Comment your affirmation. declare your faith, and subscribe so this light keeps reaching hearts that need it. Each connection multiplies the message, and together we become a choir of awakened souls echoing heaven's reminder. We were never forgotten. Remember this final truth, my beloved child. When heaven activates your name, no earthly force can deactivate it. Your season of silence is ending, the list still blows. Your name still burns bright. And Archangel Michael stands guard over what's about to unfold. This is your reintroduction to purpose, your divine reawakening. You are not behind. You are right on time. The evidence of heaven's attention will soon fill your days. My beloved child, when destiny begins to rise, even the air feels different. You start noticing that the same places where you once felt small no longer intimidate you. That isn't arrogance, it's awakening. You are finally remembering who you are and where your strength comes from. Heaven is no longer whispering, it's declaring your name across realms. Archangel Michael stands at the intersection of time and eternity, holding a scroll sealed with light. On it, your purpose glows like a burning ember that cannot be extinguished. You've reached the stage where everything that once delayed you now becomes the platform that defines you. Every trial you faced was never a random event. It was choreography. Heaven has been teaching you how to move through storms with grace. Each wound became a compass, directing you back toward divine intention. You may not have realized it. But every night you cried out in silence, you were being heard in stereo across heaven. The angels never forgot your voice. It echoed beyond time, reminding the divine of the assignment placed on your name before you even took your first breath, and now that echo has turned into a signal, a call for manifestation. You might have felt recently that time is accelerating. Days feel shorter, conversations feel heavier, emotions sharper. That is because you are shifting dimensions of purpose. The old timeline where you doubted yourself is collapsing, and a new one is being activated. This is not imagination. It's synchronization. Archangel Michael's wings are sweeping across your past, clearing out residue from years of spiritual stagnation. He is untangling the knots that formed in seasons of confusion. The heaviness you feel leaving isn't loss, it's liberation. Look closely at what's happening around you. People who were once central in your life are fading gently into distance, not because something went wrong, but because their chapter in your story is complete. Heaven is strategic. It never lets everyone witness your transformation. Some must exit before revelation, because not all eyes are trained to see light without entry. You must trust that subtraction is also a form of protection. Archangel Michael removes quietly but purposefully. Every departure is a divine decision. Every delay a disguised defense. The future unfolding before you is not random. You are being aligned with divine appointments, and some of them will arrive suddenly. A conversation that feels casual will change your trajectory. A decision you almost ignored will open an irreversible path. That's how heaven operates. It hides big turning points in ordinary moments. You will look back later and realize that everything shifted when you least expected it. It's the signature of divine timing. It feels like coincidence only to those who don't believe. Now that your spirit is awakening to higher awareness, heaven asks you to walk with discipline. This season is not about speed, it's about sensitivity. You must learn to hear before you act, to sense before you speak. Archangel Michael is your guide, but he moves through stillness. The quieter your mind, the clearer his instructions. You are stepping into a field of favor where the only currency is obedience. The more you listen, the faster the miracles move. The more you trust, the fewer explanations you'll need. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, whispering that this can't be real, that heaven couldn't possibly care this much about you. That's when you must remember, the enemy always questions identity first. It did in ancient times, and it still does now. When you hear those thoughts, don't argue with them. Anchor yourself in truth. Say it out loud. I am still on heaven's active list. Every repetition reprograms your spirit. Heaven responds to faith-filled sound. Silence may be golden, but spoken belief is titanium. And as you close your eyes later, remember this: you are not in the waiting room anymore. You are in the preparation room. The universe is aligning to your frequency, doors are calibrating to your courage. The angels have abetted your file. Heaven has whispered, proceed, walk with boldness. Speak with love. And rest knowing that your name still shines bright in divine ink, guarded by Archangel Michael himself. My beloved child, the wind has shifted. Can you feel it? The air carries a quiet announcement. Something beyond words but heavy with promise. This is the threshold moment. The invisible line between who you were and who you're becoming. You're not walking into a new chapter, you're stepping into an entirely new book. The pages are already written and Archangel Michael stands beside you, watching as the story begins to unfold exactly as heaven planned. Every lesson, every loss, every sleepless night was ink on these pages. Nothing was wasted. Every tear watered your timeline. You might have felt like you've been running in circles, revisiting old emotions, reliving memories that you thought you buried. That's not regression. It's divine review. Heaven never promotes a soul without reminding them of where they've come from. Those old feelings resurfaced not to break you, but to confirm that you've healed. The pain that once defined you now holds no power over you. Archangel Michael has been guiding you through this reflection so that you could enter the new without residue from the old. When heaven calls you forward, it calls all of you. The healed, not the haunted. This phase of your journey is about clarity, no more guessing. No more confusion. What once seemed like endless fog is lifting, revealing landscapes you've never seen before. These are not just opportunities. They are confirmations. You are walking into what was once only whispered in your prayers, and the signs. They're everywhere. Synchronicities. Names repeating. Numbers aligning. Unexpected peace showing up in chaotic moments. These are heaven's fingerprints. Small, subtle proofs that your name is still blowing on the active list. You'll soon understand why certain doors stayed closed for so long. Heaven was keeping you from rushing into places that didn't deserve your presence. Some blessings are delayed not because you're unworthy, but because you're being aligned with something greater. If heaven gave you everything you asked for too early, you might have settled for less than what was written. Bimming isn't a punishment. It's precision. And now that precision is moving in your favor, every yes that's about to come will make sense of every no that ever broke your heart. The way you see yourself is changing too. You used to measure your worth by outcomes, but now you're learning that worth was never something you had to earn, it was inherited, sealed in light, protected by promise. Archangel Michael stands as proof of that protection. He has carried your name through battlefields you never even knew existed. While you were fighting your visible wars, he was dismantling the invisible ones. You are alive because you were defended in silence. Every near miss, every close call, every sudden peace after chaos that was heaven intervening on your behalf, you are stepping into a realm where your presence itself will bring balance. You'll walk into rooms and shift the atmosphere without saying a word. The calmness you've been cultivating wasn't just self-work, it was spiritual conditioning. People will start to see the glow you carry, even if they can't explain it. It's not charisma, it's consecration. You are not meant to blend in. You are meant to remind others of light and human form. Archangel Michael's energy surrounds you now, making your steps sure and your words weighty. When you speak, even silence will listen. Heaven is calling you to embrace stillness again, but not the stillness of waiting, the stillness of authority. There's a difference. You are no longer asking for direction. You are walking in it. The prayers you once whispered for strength have now become your default state. You are strong because you endured. You are wise because you listened. You are powerful because you believe it, even when the evidence said you shouldn't. This kind of faith cannot be taught. It is forgery. Heaven doesn't hand power to the untested, it entrusts it to the proven. And now, as you rise, remember to walk with softness. You are light, but even light can blind when it burns too bright. Let your kindness remain louder than your achievements. Let humility guard every step. Heaven elevates those who lift others while climbing. Share wisdom, not superiority. Bless even when it costs you convenience. The same hand that carried you through storms now expects you to extend that safety to others. The true mark of being remembered by heaven is not how high you rise, but how many you lift with you. This is also the time to create. Heaven is releasing creative fire into you, ideas, words, visions that won't leave your mind. They are not random. They are divine assignments. What you create in this season will outlive you. It will heal others long after you've spoken the final word. Write it. Build it, better it. Teach it. Whatever stirs your spirit right now is not a hobby, it's holy. Archangel Michael guards creators because creation itself is a form of worship. When you bring something new into the world, you reflect the image of the one who imagined you. If you feel this message in your bones, it's because it's alive. This isn't just encouragement. It's confirmation. You were never forgotten, not for a moment. Even when you doubted your worth, heaven was writing you into future plans. And now, every piece is coming together, the people you're about to meet, the doors that are about to open, the peace that's about to flood your days. It's all orchestrated by the same divine hand that never stopped tracking your heartbeat. Pause for a moment and breathe this truth in. You are exactly where you're meant to be. No delay was wasted. No pain pointless. The path you thought was broken was being rebuilt under your feet in real time. You've been walking on miracles disguised as detours. Every second has led to this alignment, and now, heaven whispers, it's time. If these words have found their way into your heart, don't let them stop with you. Share them. Someone you know is still standing at the edge of hopelessness, convinced they've been forgotten. Your voice could be their reminder that heaven keeps perfect records. Comment your declaration of faith, share this message to spread light. And subscribe to stay connected with every divine revelation that unfolds from here. Together, we become echoes of the same truth that no soul ever slips through heaven's list. You are still chosen, still covered, still called. And what's about to happen next will be so breathtaking that even the parts of you that once doubted will fall silent in awe. Heaven has begun the countdown to your unveiling. Stay ready. Stay faithful. Stay glowing, my beloved child. Breathe. This is the moment everything inside you has been preparing for. You've walked through shadows, climbed through silence, and carried faith when it felt heavier than hope, and now, the air itself feels charged with something holy. You are standing at the final threshold between what was promised and what is about to manifest. Archangel Michael is closer than he has ever been, his presence surrounding you like unseen armor. You can almost feel it. The warmth of heaven's attention, the pulse of divine memory that refuses to let your name fade. This isn't just an ending. This is the unveiling. Heaven has never once misplaced you. Every unanswered prayer, every closed door, every tear that slipped into the night, all of it was evidence that the system was still running, that your name was still blowing in that sacred ledger of the living. You were not forgotten. You were in progress. And now the progress has reached completion. What once felt like fragments are aligning into a masterpiece. You are not returning to who you were before the pain. You are emerging as who you were meant to be because of it. That is the art of heaven, to turn the broken into breathtaking. There will be a moment, very soon, when you look back on this time and finally see the pattern. You'll understand why the wrong people left, why certain paths collapsed, and why you had to learn stillness before success. You'll realize that heaven wasn't delaying you. It was synchronizing everything so perfectly that when the blessing arrived, nothing could shake it. The timing wasn't late, it was precise. The protection wasn't silence. It was strategy. Archangel Michael's wings have shielded your timeline from sabotage. Every deed was a defense. And now heaven's voice is not whispering anymore, it's declaring. Activate. That's the word echoing in the unseen right now. Activate your gifts. Activate your calling. Activate your faith. The waiting room is empty because you have been called into the field. Everything that once intimidated you will now invite you. Opportunities will seem to find you effortlessly, but that ease is not luck, it's alignment. You are no longer chasing destiny. Destiny is chasing you. Take this moment and anchor it in your soul. You are heaven's proof that forgotten stories can become divine headlines. Every ounce of your endurance has been converted into authority. You don't need validation from the world anymore. The sky itself has signed off on your mission. When you speak now, your words will carry resonance. When you move, your steps will ripple through the unseen. Heaven's frequency is running through you. And that makes you unstoppable. There is something Archangel Michael wants you to know before the final curtain falls. Your story doesn't end here. It begins again, differently, deeper, brighter. The trials you endured were not wasted. They were sacred training. You've been tempered like steel and fire so you could carry light without fear, and now that you're rising, heaven trusts you not to burn with pride but to shine with purpose. Every blessing that enters your life from this day forward will come with a divine condition. Use it to heal, use it to lift. Use it to remind others that grace still works. Your peace will become contagious. People will wonder how you survived so much and still carry softness. Tell them it wasn't luck. It was loyalty, loyalty to faith, to love, to the belief that heaven never misplaces what it designs. Your resilience will preach without words. You will walk into rooms that once rejected you and bring calm where there used to be chaos, not through revenge but through radiance. That's how heaven wins. Through light that refuses to turn bitter, the angels have written something new beside your name now. Fulfilled but ongoing. It means your purpose has reached activation, but the journey of impact has just begun. Everything you touch will begin to grow. Ideas that sat dormant will burst to life, relationships that align with destiny will find you easily. The old rhythm of striving is over. This is the rhythm of grace. What's yours will not require force. It will respond to your frequency. And as you step into this new dimension, remember humility. It will keep you anchored when the elevation begins. Thankfulness will be your compass. Gratitude, your guide. Never forget the quiet places that taught you to listen. Never forget the nights that built your character when no one was watching. Greatness without gratitude collapses, but you, my beloved, will stay grounded because you've been forged in awareness. You know that everything you have flows from one truth. Heaven remembered, this is the part where heaven and earth agree. The contract stands. The assignment continues. Your name remains active. You will walk forward now with authority, not arrogance, with confidence. Not noise. The glow you carry will draw others, not to you but through you. Every encounter from this day forward will be an opportunity to echo this message. You are not forgotten. So when the world tries to dim your light, smile. You already know where your source lies. When doubt whispers, remember the sword that guards you. Archangel Michael does not rest until heaven's promise is fulfilled, and heaven has made a promise to you. You will live long enough to see why every tear, every silence, every delay was worth it. The story isn't ending in pain, it's concluding in purpose. Before you go, breathe gratitude into the space around you. Say, "Thank you for remembering me." Let that phrase settle into the air like incense rising. That gratitude keeps your connection to heaven's system alive. Every thankful breath keeps your name glowing brighter on that list. You are not just seen. You are celebrated. And as this final revelation lands, let peace wrap around you like light itself. Heaven is open. The list is active. Your name is still there, you were never forgotten. You were being prepared for this moment to become living proof that the divine never overlooks its creation. Now rise, beloved one, walk with grace. Speak with light. Live as if heaven itself has signed your name in fire, because it has. This is not the end. This is the forever beginning.